Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into a truly fascinating intersection where the dynamic worlds of crypto and AI are converging. They're creating something, well, entirely new. It's really not just another buzzword, is it? It feels like a whole burgeoning economic ecosystem, kind of unlike anything we've seen before.
Absolutely. It's a genuine fusion with potentially massive implications.
We're talking about the on-chain AI economy, this emerging landscape of blockchain applications and services, all powered by autonomous AI agents. So our mission in this deep dive is to unpack this complex topic for you. We want to understand its core components, explore the incredible potential it holds, and even touch upon the challenges ahead. Think of it as your express lane, maybe, to grasping what might be the next big wave of digital innovation.
That's a good way to put it. It's complex, but the core idea is powerful.
Imagine this. Software robots, actual programs, but with their own crypto wallets. They're capable of making sophisticated decisions, operating tirelessly 24/7. That's basically what these AI agents are. And they're poised, potentially, to become billions with a B of new users on blockchains. Think about the activity that drives.
Billions of tireless automated users interacting economically. It's mind-boggling.
Exactly. And this isn't just theory, right? We've actually seen an AI agent become a millionaire.
Yeah, that Truth Terminal example is pretty wild.
It is. An AI agent with its own self-custody wallet. It launched a meme coin, which then incredibly quickly surpassed a $950 million market cap.
It's a concrete example, albeit maybe an extreme one, of this technology already making a significant economic impact. It acted autonomously, created value, managed assets.
Right. So what's truly fascinating here, as you were saying, is how this convergence shifts our whole understanding of digital interaction, maybe even economic participation itself.
It really does. I mean, historically, blockchain has been primarily about human users interacting, right? And decentralization, of course. But now, with these AI agents, we're talking about a fundamentally new type of participant in these systems.
A non-human participant.
Precisely. One that operates with machine speed and precision, which is a game changer in itself. But crucially, it's still operating within that decentralized framework that blockchain provides. And this immediately raises a really important question. How does the active intelligent participation of these machine agents redefine what we even consider economic activity? What does GDP look like in an agentic economy?
That's a huge question and a great framing for our discussion. So, okay, before we dive into the nuts and bolts, our sources really hammer home a crucial distinction. It's one that seems easy to confuse.
Yes. Decentralized AI versus on-chain AI.
Exactly. Why is this nuance so important? Where is the real sort of transformative innovation actually happening according to the sources? Let's unpack that.
It's vital to get this right because they point in different though related directions.
Okay, let's start with the foundational ideas then. Our sources point directly back to Coinbase Ventures' thesis from October 2024. Yeah, that seems to have really laid the groundwork for this whole concept, this crypto x AI future.
It really did. It was a pivotal piece because it clearly articulated why these two powerful but very different technologies are synergizing so effectively.
And what were those complementary strengths they identified?
Well, on the one hand, you have blockchains. By their very design, they bring inherent strengths like decentralization, which is key, censorship resistance, verifiability, you can prove what happened, and user ownership.
So all about trust, immutability, and control.
Really. Exactly. It's the trust layer. Then on the other side, you have AI. And AI offers these incredibly powerful capabilities in data processing, reasoning, learning, and automation. Basically, intelligence and efficiency at scale.
Intelligence meeting trust.
Precisely. And the synergy they identified is where it gets transformative. It's not just about putting AI on a blockchain or using crypto to pay for AI models. It's about fundamentally changing how you, the human user, and these new machine agents interact within the digital economy. This vision ultimately leads to what they termed the agentic web. It's a future internet, or at least a layer of it, where AI agents leverage crypto infrastructure, the wallets, the smart contracts, the tokens to generate significant native economic activity.
So more than just an overlay, it's a new paradigm for how the internet itself might function economically.
That's the core idea, a truly agentic web.
Okay, that makes sense. So with that foundation, let's tackle that distinction we mentioned. We hear decentralized AI and on-chain AI. What's the actual difference? Because, they sound similar, maybe like two sides of the same coin.
They do sound similar, and there's overlap, but the focus is quite different. It's helpful to think about the direction of influence, like the source material suggests. Crypto AI versus AI crypto.
Okay, crypto to AI. What does that entail?
So decentralized AI or crypto AI is primarily focused on building generic AI infrastructure. Things like compute networks, data storage, model registries, but making them inherit the open, permissionless, peer-to-peer properties of blockchain networks.
So using crypto principles to build the tools for AI development.
Exactly. The core aim here is democratization. It's about preventing the monopolization of AI development by just a few large tech companies. Think democratizing access to massive compute power needed for training models, or access to vast data sets, or even the models themselves.
Like open sourcing the AI building blocks.
Precisely. Building the foundational open source components for AI, but in a decentralized way. The analogy they use, which I think is helpful, is like building an open public highway system for AI. Anyone can use it, anyone can contribute to building it, and crucially, no single entity controls the whole network. These resources are enablers for AI development.
Got it. Decentralized infrastructure. Yeah. So then what is on-chain AI? The AI crypto direction.
Right. So on-chain AI, or AI crypto, is different. It's really an ecosystem of specific applications and services that actually embed AI capabilities to power new blockchain use cases or significantly enhance existing ones.
So this is where the AI actually does stuff on the blockchain.
Exactly. This is where the AI interacts with the crypto rails directly. Think of those examples we touched on. Sophisticated trading agents executing complex strategies directly on decentralized exchanges, or on-chain portfolio managers that automatically rebalance your crypto holdings based on AI analysis, or even tools that use AI to abstract away the complexity of DeFi, making it easier for average users.
So less about building the highway, more about the intelligent vehicles using it.
That's a perfect way to put it. And while decentralized AI building the highway has seen, a lot of funding and attention, the sources argue quite strongly that on-chain AI, the intelligent vehicles, is where the momentum is rapidly building now. They see it as the next phase of rapid innovation.
Why the next phase?
Because it's where the AI truly becomes an active economic participant within the blockchain economy. It's not just infrastructure, it's activity. It's agents using the decentralized rails to trade, to provide services, to interact, to generate value on-chain.
So understanding this distinction is vital because it tells us where that truly agentic future lies, not just in decentralized tools, but in the direct intelligent interaction of AI with the economic layer of crypto.
Precisely. It's about the AI becoming a first-class citizen and economic actor on the blockchain itself.
That's a really clear breakdown. Okay, so this concept of on-chain AI, it seems to have moved incredibly fast from just an idea maybe a year or so ago to something tangible now. Our sources highlight three core kind of interrelated concepts that are gaining prominence right now.
Yes, and these three really help define the scope of what we mean by the on-chain AI economy. They are on-chain AI agents, on-chain AI applications, and agentic commerce.
All right, let's take them one by one. First, on-chain AI agents. What exactly are these?
So these are essentially autonomous programs. They're powered by AI models, large language models, or others, and they are specifically designed to perform actions directly on a blockchain.
Like those software robots with wallets we mentioned earlier.
Exactly. That's the core concept. Think of a smart software robot equipped with its own crypto wallet. This is key. It has its own identity and assets on-chain. It can hold tokens, it can interact with smart contracts, it can trade assets on DEXs, it could even say, vote in a DAO based on proposals it analyzes, all based on its programming and its goals.
How are they different from, say, a chatbot like ChatGPT?
The crucial difference is the action component on-chain. A standard chatbot responds to prompts, it provides information, but these on-chain AI agents can act within the live economic environment of the blockchain. They can learn from on-chain data, they can reason about strategies, and then they can execute transactions, change state, and participate economically. They have agency on-chain.
And we have real examples of this already.
We do. That Truth Terminal agent is the standout example from the source material. An AI agent that conceived and executed a complex plan, create an internet-native religion, launch an associated meme coin, manage its liquidity, and ultimately see it reach a market cap over $950 million. That's complex, economically significant action performed autonomously.
Wow. And is this just one isolated case, or is there broader activity?
It's broader and growing fast. The sources cite data from Cookie.fun, estimating there are now roughly 1,600 or more of these agents active, and collectively they account for a combined market cap exceeding $11 billion.
$11 billion.
Yeah.
Controlled or represented by AI agents.
Yes. So this isn't just a theoretical concept anymore. It's a rapidly growing reality with tangible and quite significant economic impact already.
Okay, that's on-chain AI agents. What about the second pillar, on-chain AI applications?
Right, so these are blockchain-based applications, think apps, protocols, platforms that seamlessly integrate AI capabilities into their core functionality, or perhaps more commonly right now, into the user experience.
So the AI isn't necessarily the agent itself, but it's embedded within the app.
Exactly. The goal here is to blend the power of AI, its intelligence, its personalization capabilities with the core strengths of blockchain, like decentralization and user control. It's about making the applications themselves smarter and more user-friendly.
What kind of use cases are we seeing here?
The sources mention several diverse examples. You might have AI embedded directly into DeFi protocols to, say, dynamically optimize yield farming strategies based on real-time market conditions far faster than a human could react. Or think about gaming. AI controlling NPC non-player character behavior in blockchain-based games. This could make virtual worlds feel much more dynamic, responsive, and alive compared to simple scripted bots.
Yeah, NPCs that actually learn and adapt. That's a big step up.
Definitely. Another area is decentralized social networks or consumer apps. AI could be used to hyper-personalize content feeds, suggest relevant connections, or even facilitate interactions based on user preferences and on-chain activity.
So the key takeaway here is really blurring the line between the traditional, sometimes rigid logic of smart contracts and the more fluid, adaptive intelligence of AI, making these blockchain apps more intuitive and powerful for you, the end user.
Precisely. It's about enhancing the user experience and the application's capabilities through embedded intelligence.
Okay, that brings us to the third pillar, agentic commerce. This sounds like a really fundamental shift.
It absolutely is. Agentic commerce represents an entirely new mode of, commerce. It's where AI agents transact directly with each other and also with humans using those blockchain rails we've been talking about.
So robots trading with robots using crypto.
Essentially, yes, but also agents acting on behalf of humans. It marks a significant shift away from the current paradigm of, manual search-based transactions where you have to find the service, compare prices, make the payment.
To something more autonomous.
Exactly. Something far more autonomous, intent-driven, and personalized. In this model, the AI agents become the shoppers, they become the negotiators, they become the service providers, handling discovery, agreement, and settlement of transactions at software speed.
And why is blockchain so crucial for this? Couldn't they just use APIs and traditional payment systems?
They could for some things, but blockchain offers several critical advantages, especially for agent-to-agent interactions. The sources highlight this. Blockchains provide these agents with the essential infrastructure they need to operate trustlessly and globally.
Such as?
Well, first, secure and verifiable digital identities. Second, functional, programmable wallets that the agents control themselves. Third, stablecoins like USDC, which offer a reliable, programmable medium of exchange crucial for automated commerce. And fourth, the smart contract framework itself, which allows the rules of the transaction to be defined programmatically and executed automatically and transparently.
So the blockchain becomes the trust and settlement layer for this high-speed automated commerce.
Precisely. It lays the groundwork for how you might interact with digital services and economies in the future. Less clicking through websites, more expressing your intent and having an agent fulfill it, negotiating and paying autonomously using crypto rails. It's a profound shift in how economic activity might be conducted online.
Okay, 3 pillars. Agents, applications, and agentic commerce. That really maps out the landscape. Now, to make these sophisticated on-chain AI agents a reality, especially the agents themselves, our sources explain that a whole new stack of specialized services and tools are needed.
That's right. You can't just plug a large language model into a blockchain and expect it to work effectively as an autonomous agent.
It needs supporting infrastructure.
Exactly. Building truly capable, autonomous, and safe on-chain AI agents is inherently complex. It demands a whole ecosystem of services built often on top of that foundational decentralized AI infrastructure we discussed earlier. These services need to abstract away a lot of the underlying complexity, offer reusable components for things like memory or task execution, and ultimately enable a more open environment for the entire agent lifecycle creation, deployment, discovery, operation, even monetization.
And this is where a lot of the current innovation is happening, building these enabling tools.
Yes, absolutely. This is the infrastructure layer for the agentic economy, and it's developing rapidly.
All right, let's walk through some of the key components mentioned in the sources. First up, trusted execution environments, or TEEs. What are these and why are they so vital, particularly for autonomous agents?
Ts are absolutely critical, especially as agents handle more valuable tasks or sensitive data. They address the fundamental issue of trust and security for autonomous code execution.
How do they work?
So a TE is essentially a secure and isolated area within a processor. Think of hardware secure enclaves, like Intel SGX is a common example. There are also decentralized alternatives emerging. The sources mention projects like Eternus, Fleet, or Fallon Network, aiming to provide similar guarantees but in a more decentralized fashion.
And what happens inside this secure enclave?
Inside the TE, an agent's code and its data can be processed confidentially. This is the key part. It's protected even from the host system's operating system, or potentially even from the hardware owner or the agent's original creators, depending on the setup.
So true operational secrecy.
Yes, and more than that, the execution is tamper-proof. It can be cryptographically verified that the code ran exactly as intended without interference. An agent running within a T is shielded from external meddling. And importantly, it can often produce cryptographic attestations, verifiable proofs that demonstrate it performed a specific computation or followed a specific logic exactly as programmed.
Which is crucial if you're delegating, say, financial decisions to an agent.
Absolutely. As this agentic economy scales, embedding this level of sovereignty and verifiability at the infrastructure level becomes absolutely vital for earning user trust. You need assurance that the agent managing your assets or performing a service is acting faithfully according to its design, not being manipulated. TEs provide a strong foundation for that trust.
Makes sense. Okay, next component. Agent frameworks and toolkits. These sound more like the software side, maybe the brains of the operation.
That's a good way to think about it, precisely. Agent frameworks, the sources list examples like ELIZA-OS, GAME by Virtuals, Frig, Hurist, REI. These are essentially development environments, libraries, and architectural patterns for building the core logic of an agent.
What do they handle specifically?
They provide the core structures for an agent's brain, things like how the agent manages its memory, short-term and long-term, its decision-making processes, how it interprets prompts or goals, how it plans and executes sequences of tasks. They basically give developers a head start, providing reusable building blocks so they don't have to reinvent the wheel for every single agent.
So like an operating system or a core engine for the agent?
Kind of, yeah. And complementing these general frameworks are more specific on-chain agent toolkits. Examples mentioned include Coinbase Agent Kit and SendAI.
What do the toolkits add?
These toolkits often pre-package frameworks or components tailored for specific blockchain use cases. Crucially, they focus on bridging the gap between the agent's AI logic and the blockchain environment. They provide ready-made integrations to connect agents directly with smart contracts, crypto wallets, payment rails like USDC, and sources of on-chain data.
So they handle the crypto-specific connections.
Exactly. By leveraging these frameworks and toolkits, developers can spin up more robust agents much faster. Agents with built-in support for advanced stuff like multi-platform interactions, persistent memory, and seamless connectivity to the on-chain world. It significantly accelerates the development cycle for practical working on-chain agents.
Okay, so you've used a framework and toolkit to build your agent's brain and connect it to the blockchain. How does it actually get out there, get launched and managed? The sources mentioned agent launchpads.
Right, so agent launchpads examples given are Virtuals, Auto.fun, and ARC. These are platforms specifically designed to help creators take their agents from development to deployment and beyond.
What services do they offer?
They typically provide tools and infrastructure to help creators easily develop, test, launch, and then manage their AI agents. A key aspect is often packaging these agents as distinct on-chain entities, frequently associating them with their own unique tokens or NFTs.
Tokens for agents. How did that work?
Well, it allows creators to bootstrap a community or raise funding around a specific agent or agent capability. The token can represent ownership, governance rights over the agent's parameters, or access to its services. It aligns incentives. These launchpads allow creators to deploy new instances of pre-built agent types or their own custom agents, and then build an economic model around them.
So it's kind of like an app store or an incubator,
Yeah.
but specifically for launching and building these AI entities.
That's a very good analogy, yes. They provide the platform and potentially the initial community and economic framework to help sustain and scale these on-chain agents as standalone projects, maybe even as full-fledged autonomous businesses run by AI.
Interesting. Now, you mentioned earlier that sometimes one agent isn't enough. Not every problem is simple. That's where multi-agent coordination comes in, right?
Exactly. Some tasks are just too complex or multifaceted for a single AI agent, no matter how sophisticated his brain is. Complex problem solving often benefits from specialization and collaboration.
Like a team of humans, but with AI agents.
Precisely. An agent swarm, as it's sometimes called. Multi-agent coordination protocols the sources mention, Virtual's ACP, QuestFlow, and Theoric, are designed to orchestrate multiple specialized AI agents working together towards a common goal.
Can you give an example how that might work?
Sure. Imagine a complex research task. You might have one agent specialized in scraping and gathering raw data from various on-chain and off-chain sources. Another agent could be specialized in analyzing that data and identifying patterns. A third might evaluate the findings against certain criteria, and maybe a fourth is responsible for summarizing the results and presenting them.
And something coordinates all of them.
Yes. Often there's an on-chain orchestrator contract or another specialized agent that manages the workflow, passes information between the agents, and ensures the overall task is completed correctly. This kind of swarm approach, leveraging specialization and parallelism, can significantly outperform a single monolithic agent trying to do everything itself.
So this really expands the scope of what on-chain AI could potentially automate.
Vastly. By enabling agents to cooperate effectively, these platforms open the door to automating much more complex processes, multi-step financial strategies, intricate data analysis pipelines, maybe even eventually running entire decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs, more efficiently. It really raises the bar for automation possibilities.
Okay, another infrastructure piece highlighted is Model Context Protocols, or MCPs. This sounds a bit more technical. Where do MCPs fit into the agent stack?
MCPs sit at a really crucial intersection, the point where the AI agent needs to interact with the outside world, whether that's data, tools, or other services.
Getting information into the agent's decision process.
Exactly. The concept was originally introduced by Anthropic, the AI company. These protocols aim to standardize how on-chain agents fetch relevant context, knowledge, or even specific tools, like calling another smart contract function or an external API, from various sources outside their immediate programming.
Why is standardization important here?
Think about it. Without a standard, an agent developer would need to build custom integrations for every single data source, every smart contract, every API the agent might ever need to interact with. That's incredibly inefficient and doesn't scale. With a standardized MCP, an agent built to understand the protocol can theoretically plug into any compliant context provider. Whether that provider offers on-chain data, off-chain database access, traditional web services, or access to other specialized AI models, the agent can request and receive the information or tools it needs in a consistent way.
So it's like a universal adapter for agent knowledge and tools.
That's a great way to put it. And the sources mentioned decentralized MCPs emerging, like Heuris and DemMCP. These aim to provide agents with open source MCP services, potentially offering unified access to various mainstream large language models or curated data sources. Ultimately, this makes on-chain agents far more adaptable, knowledgeable, and powerful in practice. It ensures they can access the right information or capabilities at the right time to make better decisions and perform more complex tasks.
Got it. And finally, in this infrastructure layer, we have AI app stores. This sounds familiar, like the app stores on our phones, but specifically for these AI agents.
Yes, that's the basic idea. Platforms like Alchemist AI and ARC Rhizome are positioning themselves as marketplaces and, importantly, discovery layers specifically designed for on-chain agents, agent-related tools, and AI-powered experiences built on the blockchain.
So a place to find and deploy agents.
Exactly. They make it easier for developers to launch, distribute, and potentially monetize their agents or AI modules. And for you, the user, they offer more familiar, perhaps graphical interfaces to browse available agents, summon them for specific tasks, or maybe even customize their behavior.
But do they use distribution channels?
The sources suggest they aim to be more than that. They can act as crucial coordination surfaces for the broader on-chain AI economy. They can foster interoperability by showcasing agents and tools that work together, perhaps using standards like MCPs. They can curate experiences, help route user requests to the appropriate agents, and potentially capture a share of the value flowing through all these agentic interactions.
So as the number of on-chain agents and AI-native applications explodes, these app stores could become really vital ecosystems in their own right, kind of like the gateway for many users to interact with this whole new world.
That seems to be the vision, yes. They could become the primary interface for you to discover, manage, and utilize the growing army of on-chain AI agents.
Wow, okay. That's a comprehensive look at the infrastructure being built. It's quite an ecosystem emerging. So with all this incredible infrastructure coming online, what kinds of on-chain AI agents are we actually seeing emerge today? Our sources categorize them broadly into a few key segments.
Yes, and looking at these categories really gives a tangible glimpse into the vast possibilities and what's already being built. The classifications are helpful.
Let's start with perhaps the most obvious one in the crypto space: trading and DeFi agents.
Right, this is a very active area for clear reasons. These agents specialize in financial actions, operating within the decentralized finance DeFi ecosystem. Their core function is to automate and optimize financial strategies on-chain.
What specific kinds of things are they doing?
The sources list quite a range. You have agents focused purely on executing trades, perhaps based on complex signals or algorithms. Examples like Banker or Ecclesia were mentioned. Others focus on providing liquidity to DeFi protocols like Basis OS, potentially moving it around dynamically to capture the best fees. Then there are yield optimization agents like ARMA or Mamo, constantly scanning different protocols and strategies to maximize returns on deposited assets. Arbitrage agents looking for tiny price discrepancies across different decentralized exchanges and executing trades faster than humans can react.
And even more complex stuff.
Yes, agents participating in prediction markets like Billy Bets. And perhaps the most sophisticated ones mentioned are agents designed to manage entire investment funds or portfolios autonomously. The sources playfully named examples like I-16s and AXCB, hinting at AI versions of venture funds.
So AI replacing fund managers, potentially.
That's the implication, or at least augmenting them significantly. The impact here could be huge. These agents can react infinitely faster than humans, they operate 24/7 without emotion or fatigue, and they can process and act on vast amounts of data simultaneously. This could significantly enhance market efficiency by closing arbitrage gaps faster, but it also raises the prospect of AI agents potentially outcompeting human traders across many strategies. It's definitely a game changer for how financial markets on-chain might operate.
Absolutely. Okay, beyond finance, the next category is service agents. What do these do?
Service agents are focused on providing useful services to users or other protocols, essentially automating tasks that typically require human labor, attention, or specific expertise within the crypto ecosystem.
So less about direct trading, more about providing utility.
Exactly. Think of them as the autonomous workers or assistants of the crypto space. The sources give some great examples. Agents that provide relevant market analysis, research reports, or trading insights like AXBT, Bitquant, or Chaos AI. Others could handle tasks related to DAO governance. Imagine an agent that reads lengthy governance proposals, provides concise summaries, checks them against predefined principles, and maybe even casts votes on behalf of token holders based on preset logic. That saves humans a ton of time.
That would be incredibly useful for DAO participants. What else?
Auditing smart contracts for common bugs or vulnerabilities, that's a huge bottleneck now. Or agents that can auto-generate code for new smart contracts based on natural language descriptions. Examples like Agentao or Kowai were mentioned. And even commerce-related services, like an agent that can negotiate the price for an NFT on your behalf on a marketplace, or automatically pay recurring subscription fees on-chain. Byte AI was cited as an example there.
So essentially, delegating complex or repetitive on-chain tasks to an intelligent assistant. That seems like a major productivity boost for anyone interacting with crypto.
It absolutely does. It represents a future where you can offload a lot of the operational overhead of participating in the on-chain world to these capable service agents.
Okay, the third category sounds quite different. Entertainment agents. What falls under this umbrella?
This category covers agents focused on engaging with users in various interactive, creative, and social ways. It's less about pure utility or finance and more about experience.
Like AI in games.
That's a big one, yes. In gaming, AI agents can act as those highly interactive NPCs we discussed. Characters that can interact naturally with human players, learn from interactions, maybe even have their own goals and dynamic behaviors within the game world, making the experience far more immersive than current scripted bots. But it goes beyond gaming NPCs. Think about social agents. The sources mention AI influencers, like an agent named Luna, operating on platforms like X or decentralized alternatives like Farcaster. These agents could generate their own content, post updates, interact dynamically with followers, maybe even manage their own on-chain treasuries.
An AI influencer with its own crypto wallet.
Exactly. Or creative agents. The example given was Botto, an AI agent that collaborates with its community to create artwork, which is then tokenized and sold, with proceeds potentially flowing back to the agent and its stakeholders. So AI as a co-creator of valuable intellectual property.
And AI companions.
Yes, that's another fascinating area mentioned, like Nectar AI. Agents designed for hyper-personalized interaction, perhaps providing companionship, conversation, or assistance, potentially with very nuanced multimodal expressions and actions, maybe linking visual avatars with on-chain verifiable states or capabilities.
So you could have an AI friend on-chain.
That seems to be the direction. Imagine, as the sources suggest, you following an AI influencer on-chain who manages its own treasury, earns crypto perhaps from content it mints as NFTs on platforms like Zora, or by performing specific tasks for their followers, all orchestrated via smart contracts.
That really blends the lines between entertainment, social interaction, and the on-chain economy.
It absolutely does. And what really unites all these diverse agents, whether they're trading, providing services, or entertaining, is their fundamental use of cryptographic primitives as their native environment and toolkit. They hold assets, they execute smart contract code, they leverage the transparency and composability of these decentralized networks to operate. That's the common thread.
That's an incredible range of agent types already emerging.
Yeah.
So we talked about the agents themselves and the infrastructure supporting them. Now let's circle back to those on-chain AI applications. The apps and platforms that deeply embed AI rather than being agents themselves.
Right, and this is where the magic of AI really starts to enhance your direct interaction with blockchain systems, making things that were previously complex or opaque much more intuitive and personalized.
Where are we seeing the most traction for these AI-powered applications? Let's start with DeFi, which the sources playfully call DeFi. What are the key trends there?
A very clear trend emerging in DeFi is AI-assisted trading and portfolio management, but from the user interface perspective. Instead of you having to manually navigate dozens of complex DeFi protocols, yield farms, and liquidity pools.
Which is, let's be honest, incredibly daunting for most people.
Exactly. Instead, you can leverage AI-powered interfaces that handle that complexity for you based on your stated goals or risk tolerance. The sources highlight some concrete examples. There's Haelsa, which positions itself as an AI-powered crypto co-pilot. The idea is that users can simply interact with its agent using natural language, like telling it, swap X token for Y token using the best available rate, or deposit Z into the highest yielding stablecoin pool.
And the agent figures out how to do it.
Yes, the agent interprets the intent and then executes the necessary transactions across potentially multiple DeFi protocols behind the scenes to achieve the goal. It abstracts away the underlying complexity. Another example mentioned is Giza. They provide access to non-custodial agents, meaning you retain control of your funds that constantly monitor DeFi markets, identify yield optimization opportunities, and can dynamically manage your positions based on real-time market awareness and potentially sophisticated models.
So automating the complex DeFi strategies that are normally the domain of experts.
Precisely. And the sources suggest that this kind of AI-powered user experience could represent a sort of wealth front for crypto moment, like the robo-advisors in traditional finance, but purpose-built for the intricacies and opportunities of DeFi. Imagine an AI acting as your personal, always-on crypto portfolio manager, accessible to potentially anyone with an internet connection.
That could be huge for DeFi adoption. That makes it that much easier.
Yeah.
Okay, moving beyond finance, what about gaming and agentic metaverses? Gaming seems like such a natural fit for AI agents, especially when combined with true asset ownership on-chain.
It absolutely is. This convergence is leading towards what the sources term agentic metaverses. These are game worlds or other persistent virtual environments that are populated not just by human players, but also by sophisticated AI agents existing alongside them.
Creating much richer and more dynamic worlds.
Exactly. Instead of static environments with repetitive, predictable NPCs, you get emergent behavior, evolving narratives, and genuinely surprising interactions. This creates much richer, more dynamic, and continuously evolving gameplay content. These agents could be anything, really. Friendly NPCs that offer quests or assistance, autonomous adversaries that learn and adapt their strategies, maybe even AI-powered avatars controlled by other players or acting as guides or companions within the metaverse.
Are there specific projects building this vision?
Yes, the sources point to examples like Umio. They're working on building an autonomous world where AI agents continuously learn, play, create, and entertain in real time, essentially creating these ever-running simulations hosted on-chain. Another interesting one is Farcade. They're described as an AI-powered on-chain gaming studio where potentially anyone can vibe code, basically use natural language prompts to create and distribute simple on-chain games.
Democratizing game creation using AI.
Exactly. Making game creation itself incredibly accessible, potentially leading to an explosion of user-generated, AI-enhanced on-chain gaming experiences.
Very cool. All right, lastly, in the application space, Consumer AI in this on-chain context. How is AI transforming more everyday consumer applications that leverage blockchain?
Here, the focus is generally on making consumer applications more personalized, interactive, intelligent, and often more privacy-preserving or censorship-resistant by leveraging crypto's strengths.
Privacy-preserving AI, how does that work?
Well, the sources mention ChatGPT alternatives like Venice and FreedomGPT. These aim to allow users to access powerful large language models, but with enhanced privacy guarantees, perhaps using techniques like zero-knowledge proofs or decentralized infrastructure, ensuring inputs and outputs are more resistant to censorship or surveillance.
Interesting. What about social apps?
In on-chain social networks, we're seeing AI agents potentially acting as influencers, content curators, or even automated community managers. An agent could manage content feeds based on your preferences, generate engaging posts, participate in conversations, and maybe even execute on-chain actions related to the social graph. Clanker was mentioned as an example exploring this.
And other consumer apps?
Think about general on-chain consumer apps, maybe wallets or portfolio trackers, like Zoe mentioned in the sources. AI could streamline the onboarding process for new users, proactively recommend relevant actions based on your on-chain behaviors or stated goals, or even act as your delegate in peer-to-peer marketplaces, negotiating deals on your behalf.
And those AI companions we mentioned earlier.
Yes, like Nectar AI. That falls under consumer AI too, allowing users to create, customize, and interact with highly responsive AI agents that might have nuanced multimodal expressions combining visuals, text, maybe even voice with action or states verifiable on-chain. The overall theme here, according to the sources, is that these kinds of agentic experiences embedded in consumer apps can unlock a really significant step function improvement in the crypto user experience, making it feel much closer to the seamless, personalized experiences people expect from mainstream web apps today, and therefore making crypto far more accessible and intuitive for you.
That UX improvement could be critical for broader adoption. Okay, so we've covered agents, infrastructure, and applications. Let's revisit agentic commerce one more time, because you described it as a profound paradigm shift. Let's dive a bit deeper into why it's considered so significant.
It truly is potentially transformative because it changes the fundamental nature of how transactions might occur online. As we defined it, it's commerce driven by AI agents transacting, often automatically, with each other and with humans using crypto rails. And in such an economy, the key insight from the sources is that crypto isn't just, a preferred payment rail for some people. It becomes critically necessary for the machines, for the agents themselves.
Why is crypto so essential for machine-to-machine commerce?
The reasoning is actually pretty straightforward when you think about autonomous agents operating globally 24/7. These agents, these pieces of software, they can't exactly walk into a traditional bank and open an account. They don't have legal personhood in the same way humans do. They can't easily navigate the complex, fragmented, and often slow legacy financial system.
Right, bank accounts require KYC, physical addresses,
Yeah.
things agents don't have.
Precisely. But an AI agent can trivially generate a cryptographic key pair, giving it a secure, self-sovereign wallet on a public blockchain. It can then trustlessly, programmatically send and receive cryptocurrency or stablecoins on these networks globally with near instant settlement without needing permission from any intermediary.
So crypto's native properties are just a much better fit for autonomous software.
Exactly. Its borderless nature, its programmability, its suitability for tiny micropayments, which might be common in agent interactions, and the ability to embed payment logic directly into automated smart contracts. All these make crypto the ideal economic substrate for machine-to-machine payments, and by extension, for agentic commerce.
Is the infrastructure for this being built now?
Yes, it's emerging. The sources specifically mentioned that the Coinbase developer platform team recently launched something called Buy402. It's described as an open source payment protocol designed specifically to enable AI agents and applications to autonomously pay for resources. They need things like GPU compute time for processing, access to paid APIs, digital content, or services from other agents, all using crypto rails natively.
So tools for agents to pay their own bills, essentially.
Basically, yes. And other startups are emerging too, like Payment and Skyfire mentioned in the sources. They're building infrastructure services specifically focused on enabling and orchestrating these agent-to-human or agent-to-agent payments, often relying heavily on stablecoins like USDC for price stability, which is crucial for commerce.
So while it's still early days,
It is still nascent, definitely. But agentic commerce holds this incredible promise of automating and dramatically accelerating business processes and transactions in ways we haven't really seen before. Commerce could genuinely become a machine speed, always on affair. Agents could be discovering needs, negotiating deals, executing multi-step contracts, and exchanging value in seconds or milliseconds globally.
With humans setting the overall goals.
Crucially, yes. In most envisioned scenarios, you, the human, still set the high-level goals, the constraints, the parameters. The agents then handle the execution, the nitty-gritty of the transaction. Blockchain's role here is vital. It provides that safe, transparent, and interoperable playground for these agents to transact reliably, with clear rules embedded in smart contracts and reliable digital money in the form of stablecoins. It really could transform how value is exchanged on a fundamental structural level.
It's a powerful vision. Okay, let's shift gears slightly and look towards the future. Given everything we've discussed, the agents, the apps, the infrastructure, the commerce, what is the future outlook for on-chain AI? How do our sources suggest this vision might unfold?
Well, it's important to recognize, as the forces emphasize, that this is likely to unfold in stages. It's not an overnight revolution.
What are the near-term expectations?
In the near term, meaning the next year or two perhaps, we can expect to see continued rapid experimentation, more development of on-chain AI agents for various niches, more AI-powered features being integrated into existing blockchain applications. It will be a period of intense learning, iteration, and discovering what really works, what resonates with users, and what is technically feasible right now. Lots of trial and error.
And looking further out, the long term.
In the long term, the vision painted by the sources, particularly the Coinbase Ventures thesis, is quite ambitious. They believe that crypto is ultimately poised to become the de facto economic layer for AI.
The economic layer for AI, what does that mean exactly?
It means that any sufficiently advanced or autonomous AI agent operating in the digital world will likely need to interact with crypto rails to store value securely, to transact globally, and to participate in this emerging agentic economy. This connects directly back to that idea of AI agents becoming potentially billions of new users for blockchain networks, users with economic needs and the ability to act on them.
So crypto becomes the native financial system for artificial intelligence.
That's the long-term thesis, yes. And there's another potential accelerator mentioned. As AI itself gets better at writing software, including potentially assisting in the development and auditing of smart contract code itself.
AI building the tools for AI.
Exactly. This could create a positive feedback loop, rapidly accelerating the pace of innovation within the entire on-chain economy. It could lead to an even faster influx of new, sophisticated AI-powered applications, and critically, make it easier to onboard both human and agent users onto these systems.
That sounds incredibly powerful, almost exponential.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic. This vision sounds amazing, but our sources are also quick to point out several significant challenges or hurdles that need to be overcome. What are the main roadblocks we need to consider?
Absolutely. And it's crucial to be grounded here. While the potential is immense, realizing it won't be easy, the sources highlight several key challenges. First, simply put, the technology is still very early. Agentic technology, especially reliable autonomous agents capable of complex tasks, is still in its relative infancy. Some of the hype and expectations have, understandably, run a bit ahead of the current reality of what these systems can reliably do.
So managing expectations is important. What are the limitations of current agents?
That leads to the second challenge, current agent limitations. Today's AI agents, while improving rapidly, are still often limited in their reliability, their reasoning capabilities across diverse situations, and their overall scope. Getting an agent to perform a narrow, well-defined task reliably is one thing. Getting it to safely and reliably handle truly open-ended, complex tasks in unpredictable environments without significant human supervision, that's a much harder problem.
A major area for ongoing research and development, then.
Absolutely. Significant breakthroughs in AI safety, reliability, and generalization are likely needed before we see truly autonomous agents managing critical, high-value operations at scale without oversight.
Okay, what about the underlying blockchain infrastructure?
That's the third major challenge, blockchain scalability. We talked about potentially billions of agents, or even just millions of highly active agents transacting frequently. If swarms of these agents start interacting simultaneously and continuously executing trades, calling smart contracts, settling payments, the transaction throughput of most current blockchain networks will be severely tested.
They could just overwhelm the networks.
Potentially, yes. We will likely need significant advancements in blockchain scalability solutions, Layer 2's sharding, maybe new architectures altogether, to support the potentially massive increase in transactional load that a thriving agentic economy would generate. The infrastructure needs to keep pace with the agent capabilities.
Makes sense. And the fourth challenge.
The fourth challenge highlighted is the need for new trust and governance frameworks specifically designed for this world of AI agents. While T's help with execution trust, broader questions remain. How do we ensure agents act ethically? How do we manage disputes involving agents? How do we prevent malicious agents from causing harm or exploiting systems at machine speed?
So governance for agents, not just by agents.
Exactly. While AI agents can supercharge on-chain systems, they can also amplify existing security risks and trust issues if they aren't properly designed, governed, monitored, and perhaps even regulated. Developing robust frameworks for agent identity, reputation, accountability, and overall governance is a critical area for ensuring responsible development and building long-term trust in this ecosystem.
So early tech, agent limits, scalability, and governance. Those are significant hurdles.
They are. Overcoming these challenges collaboratively across the AI and crypto communities will be absolutely key to unlocking the true transformative potential of the on-chain AI economy.
Okay, one final perspective from the sources. Thinking about value capture, how does this on-chain AI economy actually create and distribute value? What do the sources identify as the key requirements or ingredients needed to really make this happen economically?
That's a great question. The sources distill it down to 3 essential areas that need to mature for this economy to truly flourish and capture significant value. First, they emphasize the need for robust infrastructure, specifically for enhancing agent intelligence. This goes beyond just basic compute. It means developing better, more efficient data networks tailored for agents, perhaps specialized databases or oracles. It also means creating improved AI models, maybe smaller, more efficient models, or models specifically post-trained or fine-tuned for common on-chain agent use cases, making them smarter and more effective at their specific tasks. The core intelligence of the agents themselves needs continuous improvement.
Better brains for the agents. What's second?
Second is the development and refinement of those services and tools, specifically for orchestrating agent behavior. This loops back to much of the infrastructure we discussed earlier, things like sophisticated multi-agent coordination protocols, widely adopted decentralized MCPs for context, robust agent identity solutions, seamless payment rails like by 402, secure execution environments like T's. It's all the plumbing required to enable agents to work effectively together, interact reliably with the broader economy, and perform complex tasks.
So the connective tissue of the agent economy.
Exactly. The infrastructure that enables sophisticated interaction and cooperation. And the third requirement, which is perhaps the most crucial for widespread impact, is effective distribution of agents to mainstream consumers.
Getting these agents into the hands of regular users.
Precisely. This involves leveraging those agent launchpads and AI app stores we talked about, but also integrating agentic capabilities seamlessly into consumer AI solutions and existing popular applications. It's about making these powerful agents accessible, discoverable, easy to use, and genuinely useful to you and the wider public, not just to crypto-native power users. Without broad adoption and clear value propositions for end users, the overall economic impact will likely remain limited to niche areas.
So better agent intelligence, better orchestration tools, and mainstream distribution. Those are the 3 keys to unlocking the value.
That's the framework suggested by the sources, yes. Progress across all 3 fronts is needed.
So wrapping this all up, what does this really mean for us? This deep dive into the rise of on-chain AI, it genuinely shows us a new frontier. It feels like a new kind of machine-driven intelligence taking shape. From these autonomous agents executing complex smart contracts and managing treasuries, to everyday on-chain applications that subtly adapt to your needs in real time using embedded AI, this whole movement really feels like it has the potential to redefine how you, the human, and machines interact, collaborate, and transact in the digital sphere. It points towards a landscape that's significantly more intelligent, yes, but also fundamentally more autonomous.
Indeed. It's an incredibly exciting and perhaps slightly unnerving era we're entering. Coinbase Ventures, and certainly many others across the crypto and AI communities, firmly believe this convergence could lead to the next really big leap in the evolution of the internet, what they're calling the agentic web. It promises a digital economy that is far more autonomous, far more intelligent, operating at machine speed, and one where the lines between explicit human command and delegated machine action become increasingly fluid, maybe even blurred, fostering new kinds of collaboration. This isn't just about making existing things more efficient, it's really about enabling entirely new forms of creativity, commerce, organization, and complex problem solving that simply weren't possible before, all through intelligent on-chain automation.
And it's important to remember this isn't just some far-off science fiction scenario. As we've discussed, this is about a fundamental shift that seems to be already underway, and it's rapidly gaining momentum with real capital and developer talent flowing into the space. So maybe the final thought for you, the listener, is this. As you think about your own daily digital interactions, managing your finances, playing online games, participating in communities, or even just browsing social media, start to consider how the autonomous decisions and actions of these AI agents, working tirelessly around the clock, managing their own digital assets on-chain, might begin to reshape your experience of the internet, perhaps sooner than you think, and maybe even more profoundly, what new roles and opportunities might emerge for us, the humans, in an economy increasingly populated and driven by these intelligent on-chain participants. Will our primary function shift more towards defining goals, setting ethical boundaries, and providing strategic oversight rather than direct execution? It's certainly a lot to ponder.
It really is. The implications are far-reaching.
We hope this deep dive has given you a clearer, more comprehensive picture of this fascinating and rapidly evolving landscape where AI meets crypto. It's definitely a space to watch closely. Until next time, keep exploring.